Hi guys, and welcome back to the Geek Street, where the street speaks. My name is Sean, and I have my geek buddies over here, Eric and Arvin. Say hello.
Hello.
What's up, guys?
Low energy, not good.
Yeah, we cannot match your energy, lah. Your energy another level.
Oh my god, it's been like more than a month. I think. Okay, I won't say 2 months. I think about 1 month, a week or 2 weeks since we last recorded, and we want to apologize for not recording and sending out our content for the past 1 month because we were all busy with certain things in our lives, and so we are back. Okay, so the plan is for December is to release whatever that we have pending, okay, and then we will start fresh again in January. So yeah, that's the plan that we have, right? Also, we want to say congratulations to Jazz. Although we don't like him around, but we still send him our congratulations because he had a baby. So congrats, Jazz.
Yeah,
Congrats,
Right,
Jess.
okay. Yeah, the other guys are not interested. So Jess, you know where you stand, lah. Huh? Okay. So yes, guys, what have you been up to for the past 1 month or so?
Harvin, you wanna go?
I think all of us just got busy. First was Jess, then he became a daddy, and then Sean, he was trying to save the country. And then it was just me and Eric. We wanted to try to figure out to do something about it, but eventually Eric also got busy, and then I was just a bit free, but eventually I also got busy. So all four of us eventually got busy. So and then we like what Sean said. Yes, we definitely have a lot of pending, and I also would want to apologize for that on behalf of the fans out there who's following us and everything, because as much as you all are eager to listen to what we want to share, we are also were that eager to share what our thoughts were at that moment and everything all. So now it's all compiled into one. We're just going to pour everything out all at once. So yeah, I hope you all enjoy, and don't worry. Not everyone still are busy, but we will definitely figure out a way to make sure the show runs. So yeah.
This past, I think, almost 2 months lah. I'll just say the past 2 months. It's been really busy, especially we're reaching towards the end of the year. I think life really got after me, especially work. I spend most of my time at work. Most of the time work and traveling. So it's been really hard. Like I've been trying to schedule with you guys as well, but it's been too hard. I think with all of us, like always postponing, delaying, because we're trying to find the right time for all of us to be here. It's quite difficult lah. So yeah, I hope that when Sean says we're back, means we're back. I remember the last time we said we're back, then 2 months later we're not back. So let's just hope this time we're back lah. And then I hope Jess can join us by next year.
All right, so moving on. Yes, so today we're going to be reviewing Wakanda Forever. Of course, we, as usual, we wanted to do our normal breakdown. But why not we do something a little bit different since it's the end of the year and we're trying to rush some contents out. So, but we don't want to rush and not make it fruitful for you guys, or or a rush but not a good quality content. So we thought, why not we just do a review in terms of what we know, what happened in Wakanda Forever, and how we feel about it, and and everything of that sort. So yeah. So this will be a review of Wakanda Forever, and we got many more coming. So, but for today, it will be Wakanda Forever. Okay, so Wakanda Forever, right? I like the name Wakanda Forever. I don't know why. It's such a beautiful name, right? To name this particular Black Panther movie, and nobody calls it Black Panther 2. Everybody calls it Wakanda Forever. So, like, I think for the people who even like once I was talking to someone and a friend, and he said, and I was talking about Wakanda Forever. It's like, what is Wakanda Forever? I said, Black Panther too. Oh, Black Panther. Okay, okay. Then so like a lot of people don't know. I mean, those who are not following MCU also. Okay, I don't know who wouldn't follow MCU. Okay, apparently this weird guy didn't follow. So yeah, but Wakanda Forever. So it's a very cool. So I just want to get your initial reaction. So as you guys were watching the movie, as you were sitting back, thinking of the past MC movies that came out this year and last year, that even like Shang-Chi, like Doctor Strange, Eternals, and all that. Based based on that, when you guys are watching the movie, what is your reaction to Wakanda Forever? I think we start with Eric.
Me, yeah. Interesting.
Yep.
Okay. I think Wakanda does not beat Shang-Chi. But it does beat Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, and because to me, I feel like when I watched Wakanda Forever, I set my mind that this is just a standalone movie. It's not a sequel or not a Marvel-related movie. And true enough, the movie didn't have any X factors like we used to get in Marvel movies. It was just very straightforward. I think from the trailers itself, you could see what's going to happen, and indeed, that was what happened. So nothing like, it was just more like playing on CGI, the story, what's gonna happen, who's gonna die, that all that. So I feel like on a standalone movie point, it's good. It's really good with what they did with the story. There's no flaws. The CGI is perfect. The scenes were good. The emotions were there. It was a non-stop emotions, if you ask me. If you see it as a Marvel movie, a Wakanda movie, a Black Panther movie, then I feel like there's a lot missing. Yeah, so that's how I feel. Moving on.
Your review of the movie is as short as the movie itself.
Yeah.
Okay, Harvin.
Well, I would go with the same view as how Eric said, because but true enough, it's definitely an amazing movie to bookend Phase 4. That is definite. That is definite, and I think with the past movies, with the exceptions of Shang-Chi and also Spider-Man No Way Home, I think it comes under those categories, but it does not. Of course, it definitely defeats all the other movies, especially this year, how it was with Doctor Strange and Thor: Love and Thunder. So it's a good movie. Yes, of course, we had our expectations, but with the expectations we had, we also need to understand and agree that this movie was a different. It just a switch from Chadwick Boseman. That so they had to deal with it. They had to change a lot of things, of course. So yes, it is a standalone. You can see because the movie is more like, if you see in a point of view, it's more like an origin story all over again, giving a backstory for Shuri. Because it has to like a shift of dimension immediate. There's no depth in between. Like for example, Chadwick Boseman, that it was not in between the movie. So it's for the beginning. So the switch is wide. So they have to deal with that. And so we cannot complain much. So I'm not going to complain much about it. I just, of course, there's certain things which they can pull off because it's quite important. And MCU, it's quite important because we are moving on with Phase 5, the multiverse saga and stuff. Of course, it's not dealing much, but then I feel like they could have done a bit more better. But I'm not going to say it's a very bad movie per se. Again, it's a good movie and it's a touching movie. A lot of amazing characters introduced and good actors performing. So it was not a bad movie, but they could have done better. But it was a solid Marvel movie to bookend Phase 4, I would say.
Can we rate it, Sean? Like out of 10? Start with you, lah.
Yeah. We'll do that at the end. Don't worry.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, let's get through everything, and then based on whatever we feel and tell, our ratings may change. Okay. So for me, I think it was a good movie. I won't say it was the best movie. It was good. It was a good movie, and I feel that of course more could have been done in terms of how the story went and things like that. But at the end of the day, if you want me to compare to the previous two releases, I think this was much better. And of course, when I went in without expectation, without because of what happened in Doctor Strange and what happened in Thor: Love and Thunder, I didn't have a high expectation, knowing that because it was shot during pandemic, it was sort of rushed, things like that, last minute script changes, all this, right? So I didn't go in with very high expectation. I just wanted something where I thought, okay, we can move forward, right, from this, rather than Thor: Love and Thunder gives you a whole confusing, ending, and then what they call Doctor Strange also gives you a very confusing ending. That doesn't make sense. We don't know where we go from here. But in terms of Wakanda Forever, there's always we can know how to move forward, lah, right? So I think that was very well done, right? Also going into like what you guys also mentioned in terms of what Harvin mentioned in terms of Brian Coogler's direction, that he wanted to take this movie after Chadwick Boseman's death, and also to mention how they managed to play Chadwick Boseman's death. I think was very subtle. It was very it did not, of course, in reality it would create a lot of questions like, oh, how come he died, why he died, I don't think we need to answer all that questions, because how they played it off, I think was very respectful of Chadwick Boseman, so and then they just move forward, right? So the movie didn't really focus so much on, oh, he died, why he died and all this, so they didn't meddle with all that, right? They just say, okay, he died, okay, then we move forward and we pick a new Black Panther. So I think that was very nice in a way of, given that he had only this couple of months to rewrite the entire script. Of course he didn't write the script, but given that he was in charge of the entire film, right? And how they rewrote the entire script, But what do you guys? I want your take specifically how you felt about how they dealt with T'Challa's death in the movie.
Okay.
Because it's a very big talking point that a lot of people are, talking about it. But what do you guys think about it?
Okay, first thing I wanna say is it's film.
Yeah, can.
It's film, not film. Say it, Sean. Say it with me.
Okay, film.
Okay, goodbye.
Okay. Now answer the very question.
Okay, I will agree with you. I think they did it very well. Because I think for a person to not know Chadwick Boseman and to not know that he actually passed away, if any person who watched the movie and did not know this, I think even they wouldn't question what actually happened to the main actor, or why suddenly they paying tribute to that fella or something like that. I don't think they would notice because they made it so subtle, and it wasn't a big part of the story. Although it was about Shuri feeling his shoes, but they didn't make it so so strong as compared to Tony. I think you can feel Tony's death, but Tony Stark's death, but here you can't really see it, can't really feel it, and they really covered it well. And I also like how they did the tribute at the very end for him, which is very nice. So I think they did a good job. Ryan Coogler definitely did a good job, which is commendable. I don't think anyone would have that. Not, I wouldn't say perfection, but close to perfection with just a little amount of time.
Yeah.
Dealing with Chadwick's death and playing a part in the movie about it, I think again kudos to Ryan Coogler how the way he handled it, because like I said, they had all the opportunity to make use. I'm not being disrespectful, but then they had all the opportunity to make use of Chadwick's death and make into the biggest essence in the movie, like give them the more emotion, right? Extra whatever they deal with, like how I said during the trailer, like when the trailer was made, you didn't see much of Chadwick's that just only the mural, that's all. But besides nothing. Same in this movie as well. Very subtle. They didn't make use of it, because I think if they would make use of it, I think it's going to be disrespectful one thing, because the actual person is dead. So you're using it as an asset to give more, like I said, to give boom the movie so that business grow. So many thoughts process can go along with the person's death, but they choose not to. They choose to be very subtle. At the beginning, you only get to see the essence of of Chadwick's in the beginning and the end. That's all. Nowhere in the middle. Only, of course, in the middle you get to just Shuri, just probably talking about T'Challa per se, but Chadwick Boseman's essence per se is just the beginning and the end. That's all. Besides that, nothing else. So I think it's very good they did that, because and also, like I said, that is why it makes this whole movie an origin story all over again, but for Shuri this time. It makes him do a backstory all over again. So kudos to Ryan Coogler. He definitely, it was impactful. Like I said, even though they did it in the beginning and the end, it was still so impactful. It's more than enough for us to respect Chadwick Boseman, his as a person and as the T'Challa character.
Besides having to deal with Chadwick Boseman's death, that is one thing, and now he needs to pick a new Black Panther, right? And then we were. I think it was so obvious who was going to be the next Black Panther. I think we all spoke about it especially in our trailer reaction and breakdown, right? And the whole world was talking about it. I mean, for me, I would agree that of course Shuri was the suitable Black Panther, but I felt you could have played around more in terms of could have had other characters sort of teasing towards being Black Panther, and then but of course, given the time frame that they had, they couldn't do much in terms of trying to create another subplot within the plot itself. Right, so I think that was a bit this one, but yeah. Anyway, we also got to see Eric Killmonger, not Eric, our Eric, but Eric Killmonger inside there. So like I said, I think they really done well in terms of rewriting the script. But the other day I heard that actually there was a romantic scene between Shuri and Namor. Namor, right? So rewriting that. So yeah, that was another one. So in terms of the performance of the actors and actresses, right? I think all of them did a fantastic job, and we have to talk about. Okay, I don't want to butcher his name lah, but can somebody please tell me what do you call what's his name again? Oh my God!
Namor.
No! I'm talking about Namor's real name.
Tenoch Huerta, I think that's how you pronounce it.
Tenoch Huerta. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So let's talk about the character Namor. What do you guys think of Namor? Because in the comic, he's a very pivotal, so very significant character, right? Especially when it comes to dealing with mutants and also how their relationship is with the Atlantans and the Wakandans, right? Their relationship as well. But here it's sort of different already. Like they sort of change. Of course, we know that Marvel don't keep exactly 100% from the comics, right? They have changed a little bit. But what do you guys think of this MCU, character of Namor, right? So what do you guys think about that?
Besides the origin story of Namor, besides that, because it's supposed to be more, like I said, it's very similar to Aquaman's backstory itself, but now they change it into more like the Aztec. They involve a different the whole culture itself. So we definitely have to respect what they're switching to, and how they're going to use this character with this culture, and how they're going to perform. So based on his performance, was amazing. Definitely, he did an amazing job. And kudos to Marvel. They chose the actor who is fit for the role, meaning that they chose their ethnicity instead of just choosing a random white person just to act at a Mexican role, those kind of things. So instead of doing all that and butchering the whole thing, they literally chose a Mesopotamian actor to act in the role. So I think that was kudos to Marvel to do that, and he did an amazing performance as Namor. I don't know, because this is the first time we're seeing him, and based on the comics, you cannot relate much. But what I would expect more from him in the future is to be even more fierce, because he's definitely more fierce in the comics. So I think in fierce wise, you cannot say that, oh, I cannot make him more fierce because it's different backstory. No, but I think based on fierce and much more egoistic, I think that's fine. You still can make that character develop even more about that. So I still find that he should do a bit more on that. But besides that, he did an amazing job.
Yeah, for me, so I
No,
think he felt a bit soft in terms of the way he does, especially with Shuri, and sort of trying to. I won't say he was seducing her, but trying to entice her, and things like that, rather than being fearful and forceful. Like how we saw that, the scene where he threw the water bombs at the throne room, right? Yeah, so I think that's like probably we saw like 1% of who. I don't know why now we're calling it Namor, but it sounds very weird, like, because like we always be calling it Nemo, and yeah.
But that's how they pronounce. So it's Namor. That's what he said. So it's Namor. And like what you said, that's the right thing. That is Namor. That, like, he killed Ramonda from that building. That's how I suppose he is. See, he's a little soft, but the way he dialogues, the way he's how would I say that, his encouragement that he wants to kill Viri Williams. I have to. I have no choice. You don't. It's either you give her to me, or I'll wage war with Wakanda. So like the options are like, there's no giving in. Like no matter what, there is bloodshed. There will be bloodshed, right? So that part, but the way he delivered it about the bloodshed is a little soft. Not like. So I wish that, of course, they can change the characters as they go on. Definitely, they have all the opportunity to do that. So I wish, as it goes on, like how he at the ending he said that this now gives the opportunity to Wakanda to rely on us, because they are not that's what they said, right? Like Namor said, right? So yeah, so I just wish that he'll be more fearful in the upcoming movies.
So Eric, besides Tena Cueta and the Namor character, is there any other characters that you think, or actors, or actresses that you think that sort of stand out in terms of their performance?
We lost Harvin there, but never mind. I think everyone did a good job lah. In terms of standing out, I think no one really like stood out. I think everyone did a good job. I think everyone acted well. The performance was fine. Storyline was fine. The acting was fine. I just feel, like I said, like there's no X factor. So, and Riri Williams was supposed to be the X factor, but she definitely couldn't pull it off. So, I think everyone did fine lah. I think everyone did well lah. There's no one or anything that stood out. Nothing. I think I can still agree with Harvin and all that lah. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. All right. So, talking about the story of this entire story, I think we can agree that it was a good story, right? And I mean the plots and all. I mean, it made sense to a certain extent, because it's first time, anyways, we are exploring, things like Talokan and and all that. So I think we cannot really say much in terms of what we see, but this is a benchmark moving forward for sort of this Wakandan and Talokans and their relationship and all that. So yeah, it's very new for us, like, in a way, right? In a way, it's very new for us. So we continue. But overall, right, what do you guys think about the movie? And okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, right, based on what you watched in the cinema, because we don't watch pirated version, so we only watch on the cinema, so we only probably watched it once. But even though we watched it once, what is your take on, what's your rating in terms of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst and 10 being the best, right, of the entire movie itself, and the story plot line lah. That's what we are most interested in, right? Yeah.
I actually have like a story draft in my head, like how could have gone, like, kind of thing. But in terms of Ryan Coogler's story, I think, like I said, I really can't complain much. I mean, there was expectation, yes, because maybe with Namor and if Chadwick was around, those clashes would have been different. Those storyline would have been different. So the actual story would have been different. But then, like I said, when there's a immediate change of script, and how they want to put it off, we have to accept that, we have to respect that as well. So you can have expectation. Like now what the story I can draft, that is very maybe something logistic that you could have pulled off. That's only, but beyond that, I don't think anything else. So I would give 7 for Wakanda Forever. And talking about the story, I think they could have, instead of saying the vibranium falling into Talokan, like they could have like I think in the previous trailer breakdown, all like what I wanted was that, because in the comics, Namor's Wakanda and what do you call Talokan, what's the name here? Antarctic. What is the actual name is comics? I forgot what is it. Okay. Anyways, Atlantis, is it? I think it's Atlantis. Yeah, Atlantis and Wakanda in the comics, they like big friction. It's long running friction in the history. So instead of saying this vibranium was there and they don't know each other. Like when the movie started, they don't know this tribe, they don't know this tribe. Only Namor says that, oh, my mother has picked of this place. That's all. So I don't feel the impact that the impact would have been better in a sense where they had war way back before, continuous war, like during Bashinga's time, T'Challa's great-great-grandfather's time. So there was big war, but then they decided that, we don't put a war to this anymore. You just don't make problem. You go, do your own thing, I do my own thing, and you don't create any problem. If a problem arises, the war will begin again. Those kind of, because probably they would have felt like there's a lot of bloodshed going on and stuff. So the friction stops. So if the movie started with this, like the friction, like, because imagine in the trailer, this was so misleading that M'Baku in the trailer says, they call him Puka and the feather serpent god, like he's going to tell a history of it. But in the movie, while I'm watching, like, where is it? Where's that part? Like, he was about to say a story in the trailer, but this is nothing. So it's very misleading. So I think it would have been much more impactful if they gave a backstory for that instead of giving two different things. Oh, the vibranium fell there. So after that, so Ramonda's, oh my god, vibranium fell there. Like, how could we not know about this and everything? So like, it's like not impactful. Then on top of that, I think what's his name again? The white guy who acted the agent, right? He was in the previous movie before, right? So he was not impactful in this movie. He was just there as a CSI, as a CIA, that's all. And of course, we see Val. Nothing impactful also. It's just to prove a point that she wants vibranium, that kind of thing. But that was not impactful also. It just says by word. And we get to know that they're both husband and wife. That's one thing. And then I think one more thing is very important, that we don't get to see the actual villain. Okay, we know who's the actual villain now. The actual villain they're trying to show in this movie is that the US government, because they want the whole thing started with that. They are building, they wanted vibranium, they cannot go to Wakanda, so they went through the sea and they got the vibranium, and they created friction between the Wakandans and Talukans. So that is that, and Riri Williams played a role. So before I come to Riri Williams, let me just complete this. So it would have been better. Okay, yes, they have this, but it would have been better at least the end tag. They showed off, not a show off, but the actual villain. That's what we all wanted. Okay, you can have all this friction, but at least at the end tag show us about something about the Baxter building or anything about Doctor Doom. Reference him, his science lab or something, his research or anything. So we know who's the villain. This is so plain sight. It's just so plain sight. And then Riri Williams, I think she could have done better. I hope she can do better, just like how Namor is. As upcoming projects, hope it comes, because the impact wasn't there. It's just like we get to know she's MIT, and she can do this craft. And the suit, Riri Williams suit is bad. It's bad. It looks like some
Transformer.
I'm talking about the
Gundam.
last what is it? Eric?
Gundam.
Yeah, it looks like that. It's
Gundam.
not. And the way the graphics sets around the suit is bad. That one I can say it's bad. It's really bad. Okay, so I hope they do something about it. So Riri Williams needs to step up. I think in upcoming. But like I said, we cannot complain on everything much because there's a Swift. But these are things, small things. Maybe they could have changed something different. And then of course, and also the Midnight Angels, which Jazz was so fantasized about. The backstory could have been better, but then they just gave it's all about the suit. There was nothing about Midnight Angels at the end. It was just about the suit. So yeah, and they could have just done better. But besides, and one more thing, one more thing. I felt Ramonda's death was unnecessary because so when Ramonda dies, it just gives the extra thing for Shuri to be the better person. But I just hope it does not because it becomes more like a cycle now. Like you see, Spider-Man's uncle's death gives him the great power, but then Aunt May's death gives him. So everyone's death, it becomes a cycle. It just becomes a stagnant thing. Someone has to die. Okay, then only I get to my conscious. I can do better. I feel like Ramonda maybe could have just been unconscious. Then at the end, movie should have become, something. But they just decide to kill her off. That is one. Then Killmonger. Amazing that he came back, but I think he could have been even more impactful because I think the dialogues were not to say bad, but could have been better. Yeah. Then and of course at the ending, I think it was a bit cliche that they named T'Challa's son T'Challa. They could have just gone with Azuri. I think that was from the comics. I think it would have been better. They could have gone with Azuri, but then I think just to mourn Chadwick and T'Challa the character, so they named T'Challa. But besides that, I think it would have been Azuri. I think it would have been better. But yeah, that's my take. That was my initial story. That was the initial story, my process when I went expectation when I watched the movie. But then all of this happened. But yeah, that's my take on Wakanda Forever.
Yeah. So, what do you call Eric? So, what's your rating in terms of the movie and specifically focusing on the story? Don't give us a new story in your head, but what's your how do you rate this movie, man?
Okay, I'll just break it down in two ways. One is through a standalone. I think in a standalone, it deserves an 8. I think it did pretty good for a standalone. But as a Marvel movie, as a Black Panther number 2, I think it's about 7.57. About there. Maybe 7.25. Can give or take. Do you want to know why? I think Harvin, if you listen to Harvin's long lecture, you know why. I won't explain why again because he said it already. But yeah, I think standalone, it deserves an 8. I think it can reach even higher if they try. But as a Marvel movie, I think they need to put a lot more effort to reach 8. Even for me, I think they need to put a lot of effort to actually reach 8 as a Marvel movie. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, so for me, I would agree with all of you. I'm not bowing down to peer pressure, but I think 7 is the sweet spot for this movie. It's not so bad that it's below a 6 or it's not that good to be above an 8.
Don't try
So
to
I think
sugarcoat it.
sorry.
Don't try to sugarcoat it.
Okay. Yeah. So it's a 7. 7, I think, is fine. And I think the story, like what Harvin said, I totally agree. There's so many places where they could have plugged some holes, but like I said, the challenge. But I think it's fair given the challenge that they had, right? So yeah. So nothing to complain. I think it was way better than Thor: Love and Thunder. It's way better than Multiverse of Madness. It's way better than the Eternals. So yeah. What other movies we had? Of course, I mean like things like Spider-Man is out of this world sort of a movie, right? And Shang-Chi, I think in its own, I mean, it can carry Marvel Phase 4, Shang-Chi. So you can't compare to those two movies, but it falls in between those two movies and the rest of the shitty movies we had, right? So this is like smack right in the middle. So yeah. So moving on. Just like how we will be moving on also after this. What's next for Black Panther? What do you guys think is in store for Black Panther? Gives the fans something to be excited about.
Okay,
Um,
I'll go first
okay,
because
Okay,
because
this is why I just say names like. Okay, Eric.
I'll go first because I got nothing to say because the story didn't give much. Honestly, the story didn't give much. I don't see the point of introducing T'Challa's son because it's got such a long way more. Like, how you gonna fit the story? And then, moreover, on top of that, Shuri is like not even in Wakanda anymore. God knows what she's doing. They never even tell us that. So maybe she's taking a break. Maybe she's doing something else. Maybe she's planning to join the Avengers. I don't know. We only know Namor is in his fortress, I think. I don't think he's in jail or prison or whatsoever. I think he's in his fortress without one of his wings, and doing painting in his free time because he has nothing else to do. That's about it. Lily Williams, we know that she's with Wakanda trying to practice, trying to enhance her technology and skills. So probably we see some awesome suits. That's at most I can give. Besides that, I don't know what's going to happen. Huh?
she chow already.
Ciao, where?
She wasn't in Wakanda, but she chow already. Right?
Yeah, meh?
Yeah, she chow. He went back to Chicago.
And then what she was doing in the scene?
Oh, talking about who? Lady Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah, she went back to Chicago. That's why they're having Ironheart. So
Yeah.
the story will probably pick up somewhere after she comes back from Wakanda.
But she hasn't come back yet, right?
She left. I think
Wakanda
Shuri
left.
chased her out.
In Wakanda, they show me she left.
Yeah.
Oh.
They literally they shook hands and then they were talking about leaving, and then Shuri did her car
Yeah.
for her.
Oh.
Remember the car that was damaged? Yeah, she redid the car, and then she told the whole backstory of her father was the one who did the car for her.
Probably I need to reduce my rating to 6.5 since I don't remember. But anyways, yeah, what I'm trying to say is I don't know what to expect. Like maybe you or Harvin can say something.
We shall forgive Eric because we only watched it once, so it's okay. Don't worry, bro.
Like I said, I watched it as a standalone, so I don't have any expectations behind and moving forward. So you all do talking. Take it over, please.
Harvin.
In terms of end tech, because mostly all Marvel movies will have the end tech post-credit scenes. And of course, this post-credit scene was just involving T'Challa's son. So in terms of that, I think what they'll be dealing with, of course, a lot of people had thought, why is it Shuri? And I know for a fact there's no one else besides Shuri that could have filled in the Black Panther mantle. There at that moment, this movie, there's no one else besides Shuri because she's like the direct sibling and everything whatsoever. Besides Shuri, it definitely should have been T'Challa's son, which only we saw towards the end of the movie. So what Marvel will be trying to do is that Shuri will be the Black Panther until T'Challa Jr. comes of age. Then he will be the new Black Panther. So probably in Black Panther 3, we'll still see Shuri and we'll still see maybe a teenage version of T'Challa Jr. And that's when the mantle will pass to him and he will become the new Black Panther. So most probably for that to happen and for him to come of age, I don't know, now he's probably maybe seven, maybe just give or take 7 or 6. So maybe we just have to think of more like a Spider-Man age, maybe 7, about 9 years down the lane. That's when you can see him, maybe he's about 15, exact age about like Peter Parker, where can hold a suit, right? So that's around the same time. So maybe we wouldn't see Black Panther till later on. So even if we see it sooner also, we'll see probably Shuri still being the Black Panther, and we'll see a Black Panther 4. Maybe Black Panther 4 will be the one where we see T'Challa Jr. becoming the new Black Panther. So that is what I can expect from now. And like I said, if they would have given an antagonist who's the actual villain in this movie, yeah, I mean, we could have expect more. But besides that, I think it's just the theory crafting is still so much wide open. We don't know what's going on. The only thing we know that Val kinds of won the vibranium. I know that's what she says. No, she wants the vibranium. So that part we know. Besides that, nothing much. But then fan theory suggests that beginning of the movie when they were drilling into the sea to get the vibranium, there's this one when Namor's people all came to attack the ship. There's this one particular agent, the lady was shooting and then she got into the chopper. You guys remember that? Yeah, in the comics, they said, because they said they saw her credits, her name and everything. It said in the comics that she's actually, so it kind of makes sense, but it's not impactful. She's actually, in the comics, per her name, I forgot what's her name. She's actually Doctor Doom's right hand sergeant or something in India country, Latveria. You know, that's where Doctor Doom is from, the fictional country. So she is actually Doctor Doom's right-hand sergeant or something like that in the comics. So I don't know how much they're going to attach to that and everything. But like I said, it's not that impactful. And also it's a standalone movie, so it's not a multiverse saga movie per se, because all the movies supposedly should connect here and there. Like how Thor: Love and Thunder is more like a standalone. Was not like a connective dot to multiverse saga. This is also same, but it's understandable because they had to deal with Chadwick's death and they had to draft another storyline and stuff. So yeah, that's the expectation. It's just more for the son upcoming. He would be the one to feed in the mentor.
For me, I think I don't know if they've already planned for what they want to do next with Black Panther. Knowing Marvel, they would have had some sort of a plan going in. They like, having Shuri as the next Black Panther, having T'Challa's son, having a son they leave a lot of options open, like where they want to go from here. But honestly, I don't think they have planned yet for Black Panther 3 because I agree with you guys, like nothing in the plot suggests that there's going to be something moving forward with Black Panther as a solo film. But of course, in terms of the multiverse saga, they have established a Black Panther, so there is a Black Panther in the Avengers, so hence that's what they were moving forward with, probably Letitia Wright as the character for Shuri for Black Panther, right? But in terms of Black Panther itself, I don't see any direction yet. Maybe maybe a year or two we might get some announcement in terms of what they're going to do with Black Panther. But for now, I think I don't see anything promising for Black Panther because when you lose someone like Chadwick Boseman, whether you want to move forward with it is another thing as well. So but the most important, they've already established a Black Panther character, right? So that was most important for them moving into the multiverse saga. So that was why this movie was so necessary.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure they won't do a film lah. I think they'll do a film, not a film. Say it with me, Sean. Film, not film.
Film.
Yes.
Film.
You said it again.
Yes.
Film.
Okay, shut up. Right. So,
but I think they will have a Black Panther movie for that. That is for sure, because Black Panther is too big of a character.
They will have, but the timeline is not certain, lah.
Yeah. With or without Chadwick Boseman, I think Chadwick Boseman would want this movie to go on, this whole thing to go on.
Like it'd be so weird for you to have another Iron Man movie without Robert Downey Jr. You understand what I mean or not? You don't have. Even in this movie, it feels so weird. It feels so weird without Chadwick Boseman. So
you can't, like I said, you can't do much. That is life, right? So you cannot deal with that much just because someone is dead. That doesn't mean everything has to stop.
What I mean is, there wouldn't be like even in the movie itself. There's nothing that suggests it's going to move forward. You understand or not? They never establish anything except for T'Challa's son, right? And Shuri being the new Black Panther. They have left an option open, yes. But for me, I see nothing in the movie that suggests that they're going to bring anything forward.
From the movie, no, but they can obviously come up with.
They will use definitely they will use the character Black Panther in any other place. That's for sure. Yeah.
But I am also pretty sure the trilogy will continue because they have a lot of storylines they can pull out from the comics. And Black Panther is so much important because it's Wakanda. It's another whole different thing. And of course, it's only all about the culture of African nation. So if you remove that, it's like a part of Marvel is going out. You get what I mean? So it's impossible they remove that. It will continue. Black Panther will continue. Movie will continue, and they will pop out in other movies. Of course, the Avengers. Letitia Wright, she will be the new Black Panther moving forward until T'Challa Jr. comes of age. Then he will be the new Black Panther. That I can foresee, definitely.
Yeah. Definitely, they will use the character, but in terms of the movie itself, right, or standalone, I don't know lah. But anyways, we are not Marvel, so let Marvel deal with that headache. Okay, so yes, so I think that's about it. I think we spent around almost 50 minutes speaking about this. We wanted it to be short, but we still ended up talking for 50 minutes. So yeah, all right. So anyways, any final thoughts, guys, before we end our thoughts and reviews?
Well, officially, it's the end of Phase 4. Moving on to Phase 5.
Okay, that is known to everybody. Okay, all right. Okay, so I think that's it from us. Thank you guys so much for joining us in this episode of reviewing Wakanda Forever. Please do not forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel so that we can create more and more content for you guys. And looking at next year's MCU lineup is going to be very interesting. So there's a lot of things that we want to do for you guys next year, and we will go in and do that. Also, please do like our Instagram and our Facebook page at thegeekstreet.my. Show some love. Although we were missing for 1 month plus, Harwin was very active in releasing some contents on Instagram. So even if we take a short break, you can always follow us on our social media so that you guys can keep up to date with the latest happenings in terms of the MCU and anything that movies out there that we find it interesting. We will just post it up there. And also please do join our Discord community, right, so that you guys can chit chat with us and give us your thoughts. If you think that Wakanda was a good movie or Wakanda was not a very good movie, up to you guys. Every opinion counts, so do let us know. So you guys can click the link in the description so that you guys can come in and join our Discord community. So other than that, thank you guys. So this is the Geek Street, and the street has spoken. Till next time, bye bye.